There we are. Okay, well, welcome everybody to our conference lesson for today. My name is Alistair. I am your conference teacher for today, and here it is. The lesson today is called Talking About Family. Oh, great. Okay, so lots of useful vocabulary about family to be learned in today's conference lesson. So let's get started. Let's have a look at our first screen and our agenda for today. So 3 parts for the lesson today: the family tree, different family structures, and number 3, introducing my family. Okay, so please find a pen and a notebook so you can take notes to review any new vocabulary and phrases after the class. Deeple.com can help you with translations. Now, if you don't have a pen and paper, you can also take screenshots, but it's nice to have a notes of the vocabulary as we pass through the lesson as well. Okay, well, let's get started. So family. Today we are going to talk about families. Families are important and they can look different for everyone. We will see different family structures, the family tree, and talking about your family. Okay, so today we're going to talk about families. Families are important and they can look different for everyone. Some families are big, some families are small, but we will see different family structures. We'll look at a family tree and talk about your family. Okay, well, let's begin. So we're going to start with the family tree. So the great thing about a family tree is it is a visual representation. And it helps a clear understanding. It helps us with a clear understanding. So let's look at a simple family tree for close family. Okay, so firstly, we will see some of the relevant family vocabulary on a family tree to put it into perspective. Okay, so first of all, a close family. Okay, so let's look at this family tree. Okay, so if I look at the bottom of the tree, I can identify me. Okay, so there I am with red hair and pigtails. Okay, now I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. Okay, I have a mum and a dad, and I have a grandpa and a granny, and I have another grandpa and a granny. Okay, so I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. I have a mum and dad, and I have 2 sets of grandparents, 2 grandpas and 2 grandmas, grannies. Okay, so this is a close family tree for immediate family. Okay, now let's have a look at one for extended family with a little bit more vocabulary. There we have an extended family tree. Okay, so first of all, let's find me. Okay, where am I? Okay, so I'm not right at the bottom. I'm there. Again, I have red hair. There I am, me. Okay, so here I have a twin sister and a brother. Okay, and I have my mother and father. And then from my father's side, I have an uncle and an aunt, a grandmother and a grandfather, and even great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers. Now, I am married to my husband, and we have a daughter and a son. Okay. Now, my aunt, she is also married to my uncle. They also have children. So I have 2 cousins. And one of my cousins is married. This is my cousin's wife. And those 2, they have 2 children too. They are my niece and my nephew. So that family tree is a little bit more complicated. It has extended family with uncles and aunts and cousins as well, nephews, nieces. Okay, well, let's continue and have a look at some more vocabulary. So these are other family-related terms or other family-related vocabulary in English. So I'm going to read through the list and then I'll read through twice. Okay, so have a listen to these vocabulary words. Adopted, surrogate, twins, triplets, spouse, partner, de facto partner, engaged, married, separated, divorced. Okay, well, have a listen. I'm going to read through the list again. Adopted, surrogate, twins, triplets, spouse, partner, de facto partner, engaged, married, separated, divorced. Okay, so some useful family-related vocabulary. So let's think about other family members. In-laws. Okay, the in-laws. Let's have a look. Number 1, mother-in-law. This is your wife's or husband's mother. Number 2, father-in-law. Your wife's or husband's father. Parents-in-law. Your wife's or husband's parents. Daughter-in-law. Your wife's or husband's daughter. Son-in-law. Your wife's or husband's son. The in-laws. Okay. Let's have a look at some different family structures. So, family members by marriage. What we call step family. Family members by marriage. Step family. Family members by marriage, step and in-laws. With so many movies featuring the in-laws or the stepmums and stepdads, you might already be familiar with this vocabulary. Nevertheless, here's a list of family members by marriage. So, family members by marriage, step family. Stepmum, your dad's wife who isn't your biological mum. So once again, stepmum, this is your dad's wife who isn't your biological mum. Stepdad, your mum's husband who isn't your biological father. Stepdad, your mum's husband who isn't your biological father. Stepsister, your stepmum's or stepdad's daughter. Stepsister, your stepmum's or stepdad's daughter. Stepbrother, your stepmum's or stepdad's son. Stepbrother, your stepmum's or stepdad's son. Stepfamily. Okay. Well, let's continue with this idea. So, family members by marriage, step and in-laws. So let's have a look at some sentences that use some of these terms. My stepmom is very kind. My stepmom is very kind. I went fishing with my father-in-law. I went fishing with my father-in-law. My stepsister is older than me. My stepsister is older than me. And the last one, his son-in-law is a doctor. His son-in-law is a doctor. Okay, some nice sentences there that use some of this family vocabulary. Well, let's think about some other family-related terms in English. Here are a few more common family-related terms in English that you might find helpful in a conversation about family. So here we go with some other family-related terms or vocabulary. So I'm going to read through the list, and yes, I will read through it twice. Okay, here we go. Widow, widower, foster mum, foster dad, foster child, godmother, goddaughter, baby, toddler. Okay, once again, let's listen to these vocabulary words. Here we go. Widow, widower, foster mum, foster dad, foster child, godmother, goddaughter, baby, toddler. Okay, very good. Let's have a look at some more vocabulary. Here we go. So here are some more family-related terms in English, this time in sentences. Okay, number one, she is adopted by a loving family. She is adopted by a loving family. The couple is engaged to be married next year. The couple is engaged to be married next year. Number three, they have twin boys who look exactly alike. They have twin boys who look exactly alike. And number four, after many years, they decided to get divorced. After many years, they decided to get divorced. Okay, so there we have a few more sentences using our family-related terms. Well, let's think now about introducing my family. So here we've got some other family-related terms in English. Let's read through this list. Teenager, a person between 11 and 19 years old. A teenager, a person between 11 and 19 years old. Adult, a person over 18 years old. 21 in some countries. An adult is a person over 18 years old. 21 in some countries. Relative. A relative is a family member related to you by blood or by marriage. A relative is a family member related to you by blood or by marriage. Ancestors. Ancestors are long gone family members that you descend from. Okay, so ancestors are long gone family members that you descend from. Okay, so that's some other family-related vocabulary. Let's look at a bit more. Okay, so we have youngest child. Okay, so a youngest child is the youngest child in the family. A youngest child is the youngest child in the family. Middle child. A middle child is usually the second child in the family. A middle child is usually the second child in the family. Eldest child. An eldest child is the oldest child in the family. An eldest child is the oldest child in the family. Only child. An only child is someone who doesn't have siblings. So siblings are brothers and sisters. An only child is someone who doesn't have siblings. Okay, let's continue and think about some sentences that we can use in conversation to talk about our family. Okay, so look at these examples that you can use. Okay, for example, number 1, I come from a small or big family. Number 2, there are people in my family. Number 3, my brother or sister lives in. Number 4, he or she is an. Number 5, I look like my dad. We both have blue eyes and fair hair. Okay, so for example, for me, for those, I could say, I come from a small family. There are 4 people in my family. My brother's name is John. He lives in England. He is a policeman. I look like my dad. We both have blue eyes and dark hair. Okay, there we go. Okay, so those are sentences that can help us introduce our family to others in English. Let's look at some more. I'm very different from my mum. I'm very different from my mum. She is talkative, but I'm very shy and patient. Number 3, my sister likes staying at home and cooking. Number 4, I prefer gardening and outdoor activities. Number 5, my brother enjoys playing sports. Okay, so let's read through those again. I am very different from my mum. She is talkative, but I'm very shy. My sister likes staying at home and cooking. I prefer gardening and outdoor activities. My brother enjoys playing sports. Okay, so let's have a look at some common questions that you can ask in conversation with others to ask about their family. So I'm going to read through these questions. I will read through them twice. Okay, so number 1, how is your family? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Do you have any siblings? Who's the oldest sibling in your family? Do you have a big family? What are your parents like? What do your parents do? Are you married? Do you have any children? Is your family close? Okay, so I'm going to read through those questions one more time. Number 1, how is your family? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Or do you have any siblings? Who's the oldest sibling in your family? Do you have a big family? What are your parents like? What do your parents do? Are you married? Do you have any children? Is your family close? Let's have a look at some family vocabulary. Here we go. Number 1, compare. To look for the difference between two things. Number 2, get on well with. To have a good relationship with. Number 3, smaller or bigger. Well, these are adjectives to compare the size of something. Youngest or oldest. These are ways to talk about the age of something or someone. Number 5, get together. To meet up with someone or a group of people. Okay, well, let's have a look at some of these in some sentences. Okay, so we've got an example conversation. Okay, so I'm going to read through. I'd like you guys to listen and to read through as well this conversation. It's on this screen and the next screen as well. So I'm going to read out, have a listen, and read at the same time if you can. Beth. So Neil, how big is your family? Neil. It's probably average, really. I have one sister, but she has 3 kids and I have 2 kids. So when we get together with my parents, there are a few of us. Beth. Okay, yeah, I think my family is definitely smaller than yours because I don't have any brothers or sisters. I'm an only child. So when I get together with my family, it's very small. Neil. Okay. And what is your family like? It's small, but what's it like? Bum, bum, bum. Let's find out what Beth's family is like on the next page. Okay, guys, here we go. Beth. It is small, but we're very close. So we see each other quite often. We like to go out and have food and play games. Neil. Okay, it sounds like you get on well with your family. Is that right? Beth. Yeah, definitely. I love spending time with my family. What about you? Do you get on with your sister? Neil. Yes, I get on well with my sister. We don't see each other very often because we don't live in the same place. Okay, so that was a little conversation between Neil and Beth. Now, before we finish today, there's a bit of bonus information to have a look at. Okay, so let's have a look at today's conference bonus information. Family, idioms. Okay, so idioms are expressions. They're a collection of words that mean something different. Okay, so let's have a look at the first idiom. Blood is thicker than water. Okay, meaning this proverbial expression emphasizes the idea that familial or family bonds are stronger than any other. Once again, blood is thicker than water. Okay, number 2, to follow in someone's footsteps. So this idiom means to pursue a similar path or occupation as a family member. Okay, so to follow in someone's footsteps. Okay, nice bit of bonus information. Let's see at the next. Okay, so some more bonus stuff here. Now this is for you guys to think about later. Okay, so for brothers and sisters, so what we'd like you to do, if you want, is to copy these questions. Then write down your answers after the conference to practice at home on your own. Ask these common questions to someone you know. Okay, so you can practice with someone else too. So these are the questions we suggest that you should write down. Number 1, have you got any brothers or sisters, or are you an only child? If you have brothers or sisters, are they older or younger than you? Do you get on well? Okay, so these are 3 common questions we can ask other people. Okay, so first of all, you can copy them down, use them to answer yourselves, but then perhaps you can practice and ask someone else. Number 1, have you got any brothers or sisters, or are you an only child? If you have brothers or sisters, are they older or younger than you? And the last one, do you get on well? Okay. Well, I think there is one more bonus screen to look at today. So let's have a look at our third bonus screen. And it's a poem. Ah, okay. So it's a bonus poem to illustrate that there are different families. Okay, so this is a short poem about different family structures. Here is Lee's family. His mum is the one who helps with his homework, who gets it all done. Here is Jade's family. Her dad is the man. She knows that he's always her number 1 fan. Here's Joe and Sam's family. The granny's the one who feeds them and clothes them, who makes their home fun. Okay, guys. Well, thank you ever so much for participating in today's lesson on family. So from myself and all the other Cercle de Langues team, I'd like to say thanks for watching. And of course, I will be back here the same time next Monday.